Good evening, gentlemen. Today we have, well, as I promised, a video on KSP. Now, today on this video, we're going to start with the basics, orbiting. So how to build a ship that will get you into orbit. Now, we're going to start a new game on Sandbox due to the fact on career will be much harder. Just start, we're called NASPA. Completely not affiliated with NASA. It's a completely different thing. It's called National Aerospace Plane Agency. That also does rockets for some reason. Anyways, so let's get started with a simple. Just go for a Mark 1 pod. Mark 1 pod, we will have to use the FL tags due to the fact that they're the required size, because the Rockomax tanks are too big. Now we can use most of these engines, but if we're going to be in space, I'd rather use the Terrier, or if I have them, the FUDs. But because this is just getting into orbit, not landing on the moon, we're going to use a Terrier. And if we launch the ship right now, it's been out of control and crashed due to the fact that it doesn't have any SAS or inline stabilizers. We should find those in command and control. We'd use the advanced one due to the fact that it's the appropriate size. Once again, this is our first stage done right here. Now our next stage would be to, well, this would be our fine-tuning stage or deorbiting stage, depending on if you want to stay in orbit or not. This would be our orbiting stage, or the stage where we make a proper orbit. So could go straight for that, but due to the fact that I enjoy things which are aesthetically appeasing, I will use smaller tanks and then closer to the bottom I'll spread them out. So for this one I will use one long tank using the swivel engine due to the fact that this one can turn, and that will be our proper orbiting stage. Now for the lower part, we're going to require, does this decouple properly? No, this is not seen as decoupler, so we'd have to put in a decoupler, then this stage adapter, just to make it look a little better. This will be our stage that we use to escape from the atmosphere. Honestly, just to make life easier, we just use one orange and one barrel. Honestly, this would look like something we'd take to the moon, and you're completely correct. Due to the fact that I'm not using asparagus staging, this won't take us to the moon. During the one episode, I'll explain what asparagus staging is, for those who do not know. Just to gain some stability, structural support, we'll use these things. Okay, bottom, decouple. Oh, one thing with playing Kerbal Space Program, you must, when I say must, I mean must, check that all your stages are correct. Now, this is going to be fine and dandy by itself, but we'd need a source of power and something to generate that power. So if you go into your utilities section, there will be these thermoelectric generators or solar panels, but right now we're going to need batteries to store power, and I'd go for 3 solar panels to collect said power. That with electric charge we can rotate the ship, but with that would be quite difficult, and the ship could easily lose balance and go insane, start doing 360s over and over. So to prevent that from happening, we'd have to go into fuel tanks, scroll all the way to the top. We take one of these tanks and we'd place these RCS thrusters. And what I'm doing here is RCS thrusters basically work as a stabilizer, so if we do start spinning out of control or we want to turn really precisely, we'd use these instead of electric charge. Electric charge is useful as well, so we need all of this. Now, seems that we've got everything we require. Let's call this the orbiter. Of course, just glitch out on me. The orbiter. Okay. Let's send this baby to orbit. Go, 3, 2, Jebediah. And let's go, we have liftoff. Now it's going up generally fast. I'm gonna zoom out because that is loud. Maybe lower the audio by a bit. Spacecraft. Apply, accept. Okay. Still generally loud, but a rocket's a rocket, so it's supposed to be loud. Right. As this thing is going up, I could explain how this works. Okay, this bar, I keep forgetting the name, but this is the whole entire atmosphere. I presume the stratosphere is around here. Okay, right. This thing is top heavy, so it will wiggle, even with SAS. So we need to strut this down. Well, maybe. Okay, we're gone at 15. We have to turn it, and to make a non-polar orbit, we have to go towards the 90-degree mark. 90-degree mark. So at 15, I'd recommend turning to halfway from 90, so the smaller 90 number. And then at 30, which we've passed, turn all the way to 90, which is a secure orbit. Now, the reason we want a non-polar orbit is due to the fact that that would be easier to get to the moon. As we can see, this is a regular orbit, irregular orbit, because it's slightly bended. Okay, partial fine-tuning. Now, this is the apoapsis. This is, I don't know how to describe it. This is currently helpful if you're trying to get to other planets. And then keep going. that's loud. Keep going. Now this is the world's crappiest orbit, but in general it's an orbit. If you do not like the orbit you've made, you can click on the periapsis or the apoapsis, up to you, and you can mess around with the controls. Try and get an even orbit. See, that's 1 million mark. That's the 4 million mark. There we go. That would be more 4,600,000. That'd be more of a beautiful and larger orbit. Now, due to the fact that I still have a couple more minutes, I will show you how to make that. So, if you want to warp to this, you double click and you press anywhere on the orbit, press warp here. Okay, I'll explain how this stuff here works. Okay, so these are all the things you were fiddling with when doing the maneuver. Prograde is to extend the apoapsis and periapsis to make an orbit. Retrograde is to decrease an orbit. Normal and anti-normal, those are to go to shift the, how do you say it, angle of the orbit from exactly 0.0, which is aligned with whatever you want, to 10, which is 10 degrees completely out of line of what you need. Radial out and radial in just twists the whole entire orbit. And here, maneuver is the thing you have made. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to warp here until we get to the mark. The time, shit. We seem to have a slight problem. I completely overshot. We've completely run out of fuel. Oh no. We have our fine-tuning stage. Now we can do another full warp. That was a very dumb mistake of me to do. And then we have to be precise and just a little bit before the maneuver for it to work. Looks like we required to place. That was. Yeah, that's practically what we need. Now we press warp to next maneuver. Should warp us 59 seconds before. Should be enough. Now remember, whenever you are doing this, you have, after each stage, you have to press space again. Shut. I think I over. Actually, you know, that's as fine as a little bit, but I'm gonna get. So that was my video on getting an orbit. I hope you enjoyed. And if you have, subscribe, like, or dislike. I really don't mind. You're a cunt if you dislike. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed. Subscribe, like, dislike if you didn't like this. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.